The night was quiet in a way that makes your chest feel tight, like something is about to happen. A single light buzzed in a nearly empty office tower, and a man with tired eyes pushed a mop across marble floors, thinking about his daughter's homework and whether the car would start in the morning. 3 minutes later, he would be kneeling on the floor, holding a woman the whole world knew by name, pressing his mouth to hers in a desperate act that looked like a kiss, and sounded like a miracle. Before we begin, if stories about kindness, hope, and unexpected moments that change lives speak to your heart, please subscribe, like this video, and leave a comment below. It helps more people find stories like this on your channel name. Now let me tell you what happened that night. Mark Ellis had never planned to be a janitor. Life simply handed him turns he didn't see coming. At 34, he was a single dad raising his 8-year-old daughter, Lily, after her mother passed away suddenly. Mark worked nights cleaning an office building in downtown Chicago because it paid a little more, and because it let him be home in the afternoons when Lily got off the school bus. He wore the same blue uniform every night, his name stitched over his heart. People rarely looked at him. When they did, it was usually because the floor wasn't shiny enough or a trash can hadn't been emptied yet. Mark didn't mind. Work was honest. It kept the lights on. It kept food on the table. That night, the building was nearly empty except for one executive floor that had stayed lit late. Mark didn't know why, and he didn't ask. He just worked. As he rounded a corner near the elevators, he heard a sound that didn't belong in a quiet office. It was a soft thud, followed by a faint gasp. Mark froze. He followed the sound and found a woman collapsed near a glass wall overlooking the city. She was well dressed, elegant even in distress, one hand clutched to her chest. Her phone lay cracked on the floor beside her. Mark knelt beside her and asked if she could hear him. Her lips moved, but no sound came out. Her eyes fluttered, then closed. Mark's heart pounded. He had taken a basic CPR class years ago, required by the building. He remembered the instructor saying, "You might save a life one day." He checked for breathing. Nothing. His hands shook as he called 911, putting the phone on speaker. The operator's calm voice guided him, step by step. Mark tilted the woman's head back, checked her airway, and began chest compressions. Seconds felt like hours. Then the operator said the words Mark hoped he wouldn't hear but knew he had to obey. "You'll need to give rescue breaths." Mark hesitated for half a heartbeat. He didn't know this woman. Cameras were everywhere. People could misunderstand. But then he thought of Lily. He thought of how he would want someone to help her without hesitation. Mark sealed his mouth over the woman's and breathed life into her lungs. From a distance, from a grainy security camera, it looked like a kiss. After another round of compressions and breaths, the woman coughed. Her chest rose. Color slowly returned to her face. When paramedics arrived, they rushed her away. Mark stood back, his hands trembling, his uniform smeared with dirt. One of the medics clapped him on the shoulder and said, "You did good, man. You saved her." Mark went home that night and kissed Lily on the forehead as she slept. He didn't tell her what happened. He didn't think it mattered. The next morning, everything changed. A headline exploded across the internet. Janitor kisses billionaire CEO to save her life. The woman was Evelyn Cross, a tech billionaire and one of the most powerful business leaders in the country. A security leak had gone viral. The image froze Mark in a moment he barely remembered. Some people praised him, others mocked him. Talk shows debated his intentions. Mark didn't watch any of it. He just wanted to get to work and then get home to his daughter. But the building manager called him into the office and told him to take the day off. Reporters were calling. Lawyers were calling. Mark felt small and out of place, like he always had. 2 days later, Mark received a phone call he almost didn't answer. The voice on the other end was soft but steady. "Mark," the woman said. "This is Evelyn." He didn't know what to say. "I don't remember much from that night," she continued. "But I remember one thing. Someone didn't walk past me." She asked if they could meet. They met in a quiet hospital garden. Evelyn looked different without the sharp suits and flashing cameras. She looked human, grateful, a little shaken. She thanked Mark for saving her life. Mark shrugged and said anyone would have done the same. Evelyn shook her head. "No," she said, "they wouldn't have." Then she leaned closer and whispered something that Mark would never forget. "I saw your file," she said. "I know you're raising a little girl. And I know how hard that is." Mark swallowed. "I don't want to help you because I'm rich," she continued. "I want to help you because you were kind when no one was watching." Evelyn paid off Mark's medical debts from Lily's birth. She funded a college account for Lily. She also offered Mark a job at her company, not as a symbol, but as a person. A facilities manager position with regular hours and full benefits. Mark cried that night, quietly, so Lily wouldn't hear. But the story didn't end there. Mark didn't quit being kind once life got easier. He volunteered at Lily's school. He helped other single parents navigate night shifts and childcare. He started a small scholarship fund for kids whose parents worked invisible jobs, like janitors and cafeteria workers. Evelyn, inspired by Mark, changed too. She launched a company-wide initiative to raise wages for contract workers and made sure every employee, from executives to cleaners, was seen and valued. Years later, when Lily was old enough to understand, Mark told her the story. He didn't talk about the billionaire. He didn't talk about the money. He told her about a moment when someone needed help, and he chose kindness over fear. And Lily smiled and said, "Daddy, I would have done the same." That's how kindness works. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't ask for permission. It shows up in quiet hallways and tired hearts and moments where no one is supposed to be looking. One small act can ripple through lives you may never fully see. So if you ever wonder whether kindness still matters in this world, remember this story. Remember that a tired janitor, a single dad, chose compassion in a moment of fear, and it changed everything. And maybe, just maybe, the next quiet act of kindness will come from you.